Schiel with the Global Social Media Network, reporting from the LA Green Festival, and this is the best of the fests.
I know by the mere fact that you're here at a green festival means that you are concerned about our planet.
Oh, I'm making an organic bookmark. And here it is. Ta-da! Tell us a little bit about HippoWorks.
HippoWorks is an environmental education brand. We've been creating short cartoons for several years, been syndicating them to sites like AOL Kids and National Geographic Kids, and put together a half hour recently called Simon Says Let's Stop Climate Change to help teach kids about climate change and what they can do to help stop it.
How did this all get started?
I did a t-shirt design in college and it sold really well, and I realized, oh, I can do this, and so I just started to draw and make t-shirts and cartoons and grew a company. These are all characters from the film. So this is Simon the Hippo, Peep the Bird. These are some worms.
How did Simon get his name?
I named him after a buddy of mine in college named Simon. And he's married to someone named Heather, and Heather the Hippo is in the cartoon as well.
Oh, really? Oh. Now, how do I get a name on a t-shirt? That's what I want to
Ray,
know.
that'll cost
you. Millions of dollars.
With you, lashes is this potency, perfection in this poetry.
End wallet butt. Now that's the global crisis right now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I had a bad case myself.
Did you?
I did get the wallet.
You did get the wallet.
Yep.
There it is. Joseph Leone, made it first Enviro-Composite.
That's correct. Help people be aware of the problems that are created by waste. Waste that can be converted into usable items. If we can take a used tire and take it apart and use the sidewalls to make floor mats, use the sidewalls to make bungee cords, okay? The other part of the tire, where the road hits the rubber, right? Utilize it for where you need something that's got something that's demanding stronger material, a fence.
Wow.
So, can you imagine the third world countries that can't afford rebar or can't afford an upgraded concrete mix? Can we help them understand that they've got products within their own continent that they could actually utilize? So make them aware of it.
So essentially what goes into your worm bin is green stuff and brown stuff. So green stuff is stuff that has all its water still in it, and brown stuff can be newspaper, but it can also just be leaves. And so it balances out the wet and the dry. The LA Times is totally fine because they use vegetable ink. Now here's the thing with worms, is that they don't eat the food right away. The food actually has to start decomposing. You put your worms in this part of your bin. You'll put your food as far away from them as possible, and kind of in a pile. With worm bins, you can put in any fruits and vegetables except citrus. It just makes it too acidic for them. So since I put food here and that's breaking down, I'm going to put food now over here. So you kind of treat it like a clock. Okay.
And this is a mac and cheese dish?
It's similar.
Similar. Vegan. Probably healthier too.
Much.
What do you say, young man?
I don't really eat macaroni and cheese, but this stuff is good.
The media is broken, and we've got to take that back. You and I have to be told the truth as best people understand it, and truth is complicated. But deliberate lying was not part of a democratic world. How do we educate our young people decently and equip them for this greenhouse world, so they can write their autobiography on the topography this time in a way that is noble and decent and give them good work to do?
Tell us a little bit about the Living Temple and what you offer.
Sure. Well, the Living Temple refers to the body, so it's not a religious thing. It's about mind, body, spirit, health. And what I do, I spent about 15 years researching health, nutrition, and what I call free thinking information. My goal is to provide the absolute highest quality products, resources, information. This is probably one of my favorite ones. And the key to health is dealing with stress.
And this is a National Geographic?
National Geographic film. I'm a big believer in solutions too. So waking people up, showing people what's happening, but also how do we fix it?
The polls
polls in this country indicate what is mainstream. More than half the population of this country supports the Occupy movement all over this country. I mean, you have Occupy Wall Street began in New York. The major networks are blocks from there. Instead, they speculate and they wonder and they say they have no message. Really, we are the 99% doesn't resound in any way with you. It sure does with the American people. There are always signs along Liberty Plaza, amazing signs. You know what they do? They write them on the backs of these pizza boxes that are coming in from all the pizza parlors around Wall Street. Hundreds of people are calling in, if not thousands now, from around the world to order pizza for the folks that occupy Wall Street. So the pizza pies, they call them occupies, are coming in.
The other main reason that I'm here is that our way of building now, as we all know, is extremely destructive to the planet. This is Northern California lumber yard that is showing the consequences of our what I call stick-built housing here in California. All of those 2x4s that go into our buildings come from trees, and these are the trees that used to be a forest. Years ago, I was designing down in San Diego, and I made a really fancy remodel, and that part of my work was to actually order the lumber. And so my nice 6x12 beams look really cool on paper, but when I really saw that thing in the driveway and I saw that, oh my God, my little piece of wood, my pencil, actually killed this big tree, it really made me rethink architecture.
The Bus Riders Union has fought for a bus-only lane on Wilshire Boulevard, and that would be an environmental issue because the cars don't get to run in the right-hand lane, and for the first time, public transportation is prioritized over the auto. And when we were trying to get support from the City Council and the MTA, and they were waffling, one of the biggest supporters of us became the vets, because the bus going down Wilshire was going to the VA hospital. What was the main thing they were going to the VA hospital for? Post-traumatic stress disorder.
We've all come from a tradition of being connected to the earth, of being connected to our communities, of being connected to our cultures. And as I went to college, I showed up to the different groups. I was in the African American student group, I was in the environmental group, but those two groups never spoke to each other. They both spoke to me, and the crazy thing is I would have my friends from the environmental group say, Pandora, why don't black people care about the environment? And then my black friends would say, why are crazy hippies screaming at us about not recycling cans? And so it was inside of me that I knew these worlds came together.
We have a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear in the green movement about going into traditionally underrepresented communities, the black and Latino communities, where a lot of folks don't know how to navigate. You go to many church leaders and you say, has anyone from the green movement come and approach your church? Well, they come to the service, but we haven't figured out how to partner on actual job training or how to do the training. There's so many ways that I'm trying to attempt to push folks to come together.
The sort of fine line between pushing too hard and finding the graceful way to feel peaceful while you're trying to change these systems that stir up so many feelings of righteous anger inside of us. How do we go about, first of all, changing our perspective on them so we can see them with some neutrality but still have the will to want to change them?
If you are attacking your brother, then you are wrong, even if you're right.
I'm an outdoor adventure company, and we like to get people out to the great outdoors and give them a little education on what it means to be sustainable, whether it's someone who wants to practice a little bit more green living things within their home or take it to their business.
What was the change to start EcoTripps?
The change is that I grew up and had an appreciation for the outdoors. I was a campfire girl. I loved the experience, the outdoors. At a young age, was exposed to animals, and ever since then, I just wanted to be outside.
And share that with other people.
And share it with other people.
You created this body. You created this being. You manifested this existence.
Drop your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then inhale, take the left arm up, make a gentle fist, and rotate in circles.
Yeah, we're the world's only natural memory foam. So we make our memory foam rather than from toxic petrochemicals. We use natural latex, which comes from the sap of a rubber tree, organic essential oils like grapeseed oil, and water.
And what was the inspiration behind Essentia? Who came up with it? And
well, the owner's name is Jack, and his aunt had cancer. And so as he was doing research about all the different things in our environment, he learned that mattresses are one of the most toxic things out there. We use latex-based glues that are natural, that don't have that issue. These are vegan products.
So if it's vegan, are the mattresses edible?
Absolutely not.
And what are we serving up here?
It's a raw pumpkin pie.
A raw pumpkin pie. Wow, awesome.
Organic, gluten-free, completely raw.
What do you think?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Oh, let's go for it. And what do you think of the pumpkin pie? What's the verdict? Good?
A little too sweet for me.
A little sweet? Just like you.
Excuse me. I'm salted.
Kristen Buchanan.
Yes.
Good on you bar.
Yes.
And an Olympic athlete, I hear.
Former life, yeah.
Wow. And how did Good on You bar get started?
When I retired from field hockey, I opened Good on You Deli. So we have a little cafe down in San Diego.
Okay.
And about a couple of years ago, we started making our own bar just out of sheer frustration of what was on the market. We started just making with nuts and seeds, raw honey, and went from there.
How many flavors we got?
We have 3. Another one called Superhero coming out in December.
Does it come with a comic book?
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's 100% raw with coconut butter and a bunch of adaptogens like maca and reishi and ashwagandha, cashew
Watch
butter.
your language.
I'd like to announce this year's recipient of the 2011 Ford Community Green Grant of Los Angeles, and that goes to Homegirl.
Bees pollinate 80% of the world's plants, including 90 different food crops. So that means that 1 in every 4 times you stick the fork in your mouth, you can thank a honeybee.
Lisa Fillis, naturopathic doctor with H3 therapy.
Yes.
Tell us what you do.
Nothing.
Nothing. And that's probably the best. Less stress that way.
I am the medical director of H3 therapy, which is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Hyperbaric oxygen is a tool we use to help increase circulation and increase oxygenation to the body. You get into the chamber, you're breathing oxygen, you get into compression, which pushes the oxygen all the way through your body into your tissues.
And that is the hyperbaric chamber. Seems very roomy.
She's very roomy inside.
Very roomy.
A lot of moms will get in there with autistic children.
Really? How do you deal with people who are claustrophobic to get in there?
We try to work people in slowly. Get in, get comfortable, zip it up, unzip it, so they can kind of feel what that is like. And then you can always take a short treatment. Instead of taking a full hour, you can do 5 minutes, 20 minutes.
You give them a flask of vodka to go in there too. And how soon can one feel the effects of the hyperbaric chamber?
When I was in there, I felt within about 10 minutes, because you're breathing all this good oxygen, it really wakes up your brain, everything kind of works a little bit better.
And that each of us are girded up that we may do the business at hand, that we may occupy until the I am presence comes, that we may occupy until light shines forward, that we may occupy right action into the order of the universe thunders through us with ways of sanity and well-being.
Take a ride in the sky on a ship.